So yeah, we will start on our backs on the mat. So just be mindful how you come onto your back, so we're not just falling down as if we were falling into bed. So I like to just recline slowly. And there's two options here. So today, in large part, is focused on the legs and hips. So there's an option to have your legs in butterfly, so where your soles of your feet are together and on the floor, and let your knees fall open. If you're finding it quite intense there, unless you're super flexible, put cushions underneath your knees, and that will just help support a little bit, but still getting the benefit of that stretch on the internal thighs. So the other option is you can have your feet to the floor, legs, feet out wide with your knees propping each other up. So it's more of an internal rotation there. Or alternatively, you can just lay your legs down the mat, but just be mindful of that curve in your back. So let's begin by just turning your head side to side. Just release any built up tension there. Slow everything down. Let's try not to rush through the practice. So let's not be here to tick a box. Let's be here to really work through any tension, create strength, as well as flexibility, and this 45 minutes to yourself. So I'm going to have my legs in butterfly, in Sukhasana, reclined Sukhasana, because I really like that stretch. Press wherever you are, press your elbows into the mat and lift your upper back off the mat so you can push your shoulder blades down towards your bottom and really tuck them underneath you. Excuse me. Place your middle fingers together. Spread your palms wide, your elbows come out wide, and you've created like an external rib cage with your hands, and place it on top of your rib cage. Close the eyes, close the mouth, but slightly part the teeth. So relaxed jaw. And let's settle in. Begin to deepen the breath. And recreate that real natural breathing. So let your belly rise and fall, much like a baby does. As you rise, your fingers part, so you're really inflating your lungs so your rib cage comes apart. Hold it at the top, and as you exhale, the fingers draw back together, the middle fingers meet. Pause at the bottom before drawing that breath in again. Pause with full lungs. And exhale. Let those fingers come back to touch. If your fingers are not parting and then making that contact, perhaps breathe a little bit deeper. So that rib cage is really working hard to expand, to allow all that lovely breath in. And fall back down as you exhale. Lovely, lovely. A few more rounds of breath here. And gently open the eyes if they were closed. If your legs are out in Sukhasana like mine, use the strength of your hands underneath your thighs to push them back together so we're not contracting too quickly on those overstretched muscles. Draw one knee in, followed by the other. Clasp your fingertips just on the top of your shins and gently rock side to side. Massaging the lower back, breathing there. And then let's send that right leg down the mat, hug this left knee in, so take it out to the side, then draw it in towards your armpit, avoiding the rib cage, squeezing it in. Your right shoulder will want to lift, so let's draw that right shoulder back down, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze that knee in. Let's take the ankle into circles whilst we're here. Going the opposite way. This is too much on this right leg. You can bend your right knee, so your right foot is on the floor, which just is a little bit kinder to that hip flexor. Point and press your left foot. Lovely. And then let's ever so gently draw that foot up to the ceiling, that left foot. Take your head and shoulders off. Take your calf or your thigh, and as you lean back, your head and shoulders, just gently draw that leg in. Let's not go too hard too quickly. You can have a bend in your knee. Be gentle on that hamstring. A lot of yoga wear and tear is overstretching that hamstring. So let's go steady, go easy. If you find it more comfortable to be up here, you can be up, and equally you can bend that right knee as well. Just kind of do something and think, oh, is that comfy? Am I feeling the benefits? If not, just make these minor adjustments for you. And then let's bring the right sole of the foot to the floor if it's not already there. Take that left ankle on top of the right thigh. Gently take that left thigh away from you with your left palm of your hands. Stay here, or you can thread your fingers through that right thigh, drawing the thigh in, and your left elbow is on your left thigh, taking that left thigh away. So that reclined figure four. Lovely. Release all that bind, that cross legs, bring your knees together. Take your knees wide apart, your toes are still together, draw your knees away and then in towards your body. So your feet stay in contact, your knees are maybe making two big circles, like a big figure eight, and go the opposite way. So just getting that mobility in our hips. Lovely stuff. And let's draw those legs down. Let's repeat on the right side. So let's hug this right knee into our chest. Take it out to the side, drawing it in, squeezing your knee in there. Take that left shoulder down to the mat. Rotate your ankle one way and the other way. Point and press. And then let's take that leg up to the ceiling. You can take your head and shoulders off the mat. Lovely. So remember that left knee can be raised on the mat. Where that's gone. I'm hoping you can still see me because, oh, there we go. My computer just flipped on to something else because the one was calling me, so it went off and I can't, it's a little bit there. Sorry, so we're drawing that up so that left leg can be bent. Or it can be out straight if you're enjoying that stretch of the hip flexor. And then let's draw that right ankle onto the left thigh. Draw that right knee away from you. Breathing there. Thread those fingers through that left thigh for the added extra stretch. That right elbow is on the inside of that right thigh. Draw that left knee in, breathing there. I love this stretch. I don't know if it's because I do so much glute strength work or running or what, but this and pigeon is just my yes pose. You know the one that feels really good. It's that edge of great stretch to pleasurable pain, dare I say it? Ah, I love it. Let's release everything. Just give those ankles a shake, give those knees a shake. Hug the knees into your chest. Begin to rock and roll on your mat. So draw your feet up to the ceiling, holding your shins. Get that momentum to rock and roll up your mat. It's a nice massage for your back. And then see if you can pause in midair with your feet off the mat. And come back down, roll, and up. See if you can pause. Feet off the mat. Back down again, and see if you can take your hands away this time. One last time, roll back, and up. Lovely, cross those ankles. So just a few more stretches on the legs before we come into our postures. Send the legs out in front of you. Flex the toes towards your face. Let's come into our Dandasana, our staff pose. Roll your shoulders up to your ears, down your back, your hands at either side of your hips. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Flex your toes towards your face. Draw that belly button in. Breathe here. It should feel like such an active posture. We're not just simply sitting. The more you practice yoga, the easier this will get. There, this stuff. So keeping opening these hips. Let's draw this right knee into our chest again. Take your underside of your foot with your left hand. Your right hand is kind of on the outside of your shin. Be mindful of your back here. We're not slumping. Use this contact with your hands to draw yourself up straight and tall. And we're just going to rock that knee backwards and forwards across the diagonal. Getting that mobility in our hips. Maybe draw circles one way and the other way. And then two options here. You can either place the ankle on top of the left knee and draw yourself down, opening that hip joint. Or you can place the sole of that foot on the crook of your left elbow and kind of rock a baby. Again, my back is not slumping here. I'm drawing up and I'm just gently rocking that side to side. Both are doing exactly the same thing. This is a little bit more gentle. We're stretching into that hip. This is a little bit more extreme, so go steady. Lovely. And let's replace that right foot down. Repeat on the left. Let's take that left leg in. Right hand to the inside of the left sole of the foot. Left hand on the outside of the shin, and start with those diagonals first. Lovely, lovely. Mindful that our belly button is drawing in. And what I mean by that is that our core is constantly working here to keep our structure in these poses. So either place that left ankle on the right thigh, drawing that left knee away, which I definitely need to on this side because I'm a little bit tighter. Often find that one side and the other. Okay. So a few poses to play around with today. Go with it. Nothing too extreme, so don't worry. Let's cross our legs. Come onto all fours. Come onto your knees directly below your hips. And let's just circle with our hips, first of all. In fact, let's try and make a figure 8 with your hips. And just getting into our obliques, into our hips. Keep going. Tie my feral hair back. Pausing there. Okay. So here, I want your bottom to your heels. Stretch your arms forward into child's pose because we're going to do some fluid repetitions here. And this is our starting point. As you inhale, draw yourself up. So we're in kind of a long tabletop. Tuck your toes under. Inhale, lift your knees to a hover. Pause there for 3, 2, 1. Bring those knees back down. Unhook the toes. Bottom back to heels. Twice more. Inhale, coming up. Tuck the toes. As you exhale, lift the knees to a hover for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees down, unhook the toes, come back. So just firing up that core for our structure. Inhale, coming forwards, firing up our elbows, really push the mat away from you so you've got that slight round in your upper back. Tuck the toes, lift your knees to a hover, the tailbone is tucked under, and if you just tilt your tailbone forwards and back, you can see when it's tucked under, your lower abs really engage more. Knees down, child's pose. Okay, we're going to add on. Inhale, coming up. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, but lift them all the way to a plank. Exhale, knees down, unhook the toes, child's pose. Twice more. Inhale, coming up. Tuck the toes. Exhale, plank. Tuck that tailbone under. Inhale, knees down. Exhale, child's. One last time before we add on to the downward dog. Inhale. Tuck toes. Plank as you exhale. Inhale, knees down. Exhale, child's. Let's add on a down dog. Inhale, up. Exhale, plank. Inhale, push into your downward dog. Exhale, forwards. Bring the knees down. Child's pose. So I'm not too bothered when you breathe, just as long as you're breathing as you move. So if you're following me, we're inhaling as we're coming to all fours. Exhale to plank. Inhale to downward dog. Exhale, plank. Inhale, knees down. Exhale, child's. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhale. Exhale, plank. Inhale, dog. Exhale, plank. Inhale, knees. Exhale, child's. Twice more. Inhale, fours. Exhale, plank. Inhale, dog. Exhale, plank. Inhale, fours. Exhale, child's. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Take your hands, palms facing up by your feet so that your head come down to the mat. So much was going on there. We had our core contracting, we were stretching our hamstrings, glutes, pressure on your wrists, your upper back, and all that mobility as well. Well done. Okay, let's bring those hands forwards. Let's come into that plank. Into your downward dog. Step out your feet here. Walk them out. Draw those heels towards the mat. Lovely, lovely. Come onto your tiptoes. So still in that V shape, but turn your heels over to the left. Keep your shoulders in parallel with the mat. Inhale, coming onto our tiptoes, working our obliques here, heels over to the right. Breathe. One more time each side. Inhale to tiptoes. Exhale to the left. Keep those shoulders facing down. Try not to lift up on one side. Inhale, tiptoes. Exhale to the right. Inhale, tiptoes. Look up at your hands. Walk those feet super slowly up. Wherever you step your feet, that's fine. Bending those knees, feet are wide. Hang heavy here. Take your elbows, your head is heavy. You can stay static, or you might just want to sway those hips side to side, bending one knee and the other. Kind of a really loose ragdoll pose. Get my jumper off without trying to expose myself inappropriately. I mean, that's the way to do it, isn't it? Okay, roll the shoulders. Sorry, when you're in your ragdoll, roll those shoulders. Bend one knee and the other. Let the hands go. And then tuck your tailbone under, your knees are bent. Slowly roll that spine up. Your head is heavy. Shoulders are heavy. Roll them up to your ears and down your backwards. Roll them a couple of times. Lovely. Heel toe those feet together. Let's get our structure correct. Tuck that tailbone under. Belly button draws in. Feet are squeezing together. Zip up your legs so your glutes are working hard. Hands either side of your thighs. Bring your hands in prayer in front of your hips. Rise up as you breathe in. Either stay here looking at your thumbs or begin to draw those thumbs back to the wall behind you, pressing your hips forwards, squeezing your glutes, looking back, that gentle back bend. Inhale, grow taller. Exhale, bend the knees, draw those thumbs down as you forward fold. Release your fingertips to the mat. Inhale, let's rise up, send your hands behind you for aeroplane arms. Your back is flat. Notice I've still got a bend in my knees. I'm not going too hard too quickly. Exhale, fold. Send that right foot back. Send the left foot back. Bring your knees down. Bring your chest, your chin down. Flatten yourself on your mat. Release your feet. Squeeze those elbows in. Inhale, just draw the chest and chin off the mat. Your back's doing the work, not your hands. Exhale down. Tuck those toes. Strong push up, or you can come onto your knees first. Exhale into your downward dog. Breathe. Raise your right leg high, three-legged dog. Bring your right knee to your right elbow. And then place the right foot to the outside of your right hand. If it doesn't quite get there, it kind of gets here. It's okay. Pick it up and put it there with your hands. So your foot's on the outside of the mat. Let's draw that left knee down and hook those left toes. Enjoy the hip stretch on the right side and the hip flex on the left. I'm just rocking side to side here a little bit. Let's take that right arm up. So as if you're drawing a bow and arrow, let's draw it across our chest, all the way up to the ceiling. Spread those fingers wide. Stack those shoulders on top of each other. Lovely. Exhale, bring that right hand down. Tuck those left toes. Lift off the left knee. Slide that right foot back to your plank. Exhale, downward dog. Raise that left foot high. Tiptoes on the right, bring that left knee to tap your left elbow. And then bring it to the left hand side of your hands. Bring that left knee down. Open that chest, squeezing those shoulder blades together and hook those right toes. Breathing there. And then let's draw that left hand up, cross our chest all the way up to the ceiling. Stack those shoulders. Breathe. Exhale, let's take that left hand down. Tuck those toes. Lift that right knee off. Slide that left foot back to plank and downward dog. Okay, this time lift that right leg high. Step it into the middle of your hands, bring your knee to your chest first. So really hug that right knee. I'll just repeat that for you. Hug that right knee into your chest before stepping that right foot through. Left knee down. Send those hands back like those aeroplane wings that we did. And then pressing into that right heel, lift that left knee. Stay here, right glute working super hard. Breathe. Left hand comes down, right hand comes up towards the ceiling. And here comes the fun pose. Bring that right hand down, look down at your mat, take your fingertips forward in front of your right foot. We are going to get a bit of momentum here, so rock forwards and backwards on that right foot. And when you feel ready, staring down at the mat, as you come forward, you lift your left foot off the mat, bring your head down, left foot high for standing splits or something similar to. As you exhale, bend that right knee with control, that left foot comes back down to the mat. Bring that right foot with your right hand. Slide that right foot back to your plank. Downward dog. Breathe there. Always an option if it's a little bit harsh on your wrist here to come into child's pose. Let's repeat that on the left side. So let's raise that left foot high. Hug the left knee into your chest before bringing that left foot in between your hands. Lovely. Let's get those aeroplane hands, so send them back to your hips. Really draw those shoulder blades together, looking down at the mat. Breathe. And let's, can't remember if we did the twist here or not. I think we did. Bring that right hand down. Open up on that left side. Yeah, this rings a bell now. And let's take the left hand down. Take both hands a little bit in front of that left foot and begin that rock for momentum. Feel the shift in the weight and the balance. And then as you inhale, bring that right foot off, lengthening that left leg, take your gaze down, back behind you. Standing splits on the right side or an attempt thereof. Bending that left knee, super slowly, that right foot comes down. The hands come back to frame that left foot, slide that left foot back. And into your downward dog or your child's pose. Lovely. Taking a breath there. If you attempted standing split and didn't fall over, take this moment to congratulate yourself. Well done. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, looking up towards your hands. Let's bring your right leg high, three-legged dog. Bring that right knee to your right wrist. Your shin comes down to the mat. Slide your left leg back behind you, coming into our pigeon. So you can either come onto fingertips here and really grow into a proud pigeon, really opening that chest, and I really like that to stretch my left hip flexor. Or you can come down onto all fours and feel a bigger stretch on that right glute. Breathing there. And then if you're not already, come back onto those hands. Tuck the left toes, lift that left knee off. Slide that right ankle under your right glute before sliding it back to meet the left in your plank. Exhale into your downward dog. Walk your feet towards your hands. Feet together. Inhale, so those aeroplane arms come back behind you, flat back, look forward. Still can have a slight bend in your knees. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lead with your head and your chest coming all the way up to Tadasana. Hands in prayer. Exhale, down your chest. So our second fun play around pose. You just open this right hip, hands on your hips. Ground down in that left foot. So pick up the toes, grip the mat with that left foot. Squat down a little bit. I'm not going too far, just a little squat. Tuck that tailbone under. Shift the weight to that left foot, bringing up your right knee. So we've talked about a dristi before, and that just proves when my gaze went to the side, I wobbled and fell. So choose a focus point in front of you, a dristi. It helps with your balance. So for me, my daughter's bedspread, there's bees on it, so I'm looking at one bee. Hands on your hips, slight squat. Lift that right knee up. And then see if you can bring that right ankle on top of your left thigh. Let that right knee down towards your mat. So you can either focus and stay here. If you're feeling strong, balanced, want to give it a go, explore, keep squatting down even more. You might need to watch me first before you attempt this, because you're looking at your dristi. If you're okay there, you can bring your hands to the mat in front of that leg, so it looks like this. So you can either stay there or hook this foot on your outer left tricep. Bend your elbows so your left heel comes off the mat. And so again, you can stay here, it's a bit of a bind, bit of a stretch, or you can play around like with crow and shift your weight forward, picking up that left foot. So from the side, and if you've fallen over, good on you for trying. If you're like watching the screen going, what on earth? It's one to rewatch and try later. Bend the elbows. That becomes your shelf for your leg. Lean forwards, trust your strength. Picking up that left foot, just like crow. If you've fallen out, absolutely fine. Let's try and meet back at the front. So if you have still got the ankle on the left thigh, lift yourself up super slowly. Release that knee, walk out the legs, shake them off. It is intense on both glutes, thighs, TFLs. Let's try the opposite side. So we need to stretch it out in our pigeon first. Feet together, tailbone under. Shoulders up to your ears, down your back, hands in prayer. Inhale, send those hands high. Exhale, draw them down your chest, bend your knees. Inhale, flat back, send those hands behind you. Tuck your hair hanger ribbons in if they're sticking out. Any opportunity. Exhale, fold forwards. Take that left foot back, followed by the right. Shift your weight forwards. Exhale into your downward dog. Left leg high, three-legged dog. Left knee to left wrist. Your shin comes down to the mat. Your right knee comes down, unhook those toes, slide that right leg back. Either staying into this proud pigeon, I think it's called king pigeon, squeeze those shoulder blades together, opening that chest, shoulders down your ears. Lovely right hip flex stretch as well, or come down onto your forearms. Opening up that hip. Breathing, taking stock. And then coming onto your hands if you weren't there already. Tuck the right toes, lift the right knee. Left ankle comes into the left hip before we slide it back to meet the right. Exhale into your downward dog. Walk those feet up to your hands. Feet come together. Bending the knees, send those hands back to your flat back. Inhale, coming all the way up, hands in prayer. And down your chest. Let's give it a go on the left side. Grip the mat with your right toes. Slight bend in the knee. Find your drishti. Focus, you know what's coming. Try to take the lead from my voice rather than looking at the screen. Hopefully my instructions are good enough that you don't have to. Lift that left knee. Left ankle on top of right thigh. And either staying there, breathe. Your right ankle is working really hard to keep you there. If not, follow me. Squatting down a little bit more. You can stay here. Or bring your hands down to the mat. Deep stretch on your left hip there. Squat down. So my left foot here is hooking the outside of my right tricep. My left knee and shin is on my left tricep. Lean forward, spread those fingers, take your weight forwards. See if you can lift that right foot. Might just be for a breath, a fleeting breath. And if you've fallen out, come right back in. If you are with me, slowly begin to lengthen that right leg, coming all the way up, release that left ankle. And release the legs. Loosen everything off. Let's get loose and supple, so feet wider than hip distance. Just rock side to side, so twist those hips, let those arms fall. A bit like when you're at school, those percussion instruments, that you know, those drums with those little wooden balls, those hand drums. Do you know what I mean? If you know the name, tell me the name. Send me a message of what the name is, but we're kind of recreating that. So we're twisting our hips, our arms and the string with those wooden balls on the end. Loosening everything up. And pause there, roll those shoulders. Let's come down for our relaxation through a sun salutation, of course. Hands in prayer, take stock, tailbone under, breathe. Raise those hands high. Lean back, look back. Exhale, thumbs down your chest, bend those knees, forward fold. Slowly, deliberately moving through these motions. Inhale, hands come back to airplane arms. Exhale down. Right foot comes back, followed by the left. Let's slowly Come forward onto our tiptoes, lower to the mat as slowly as we can. My elbows are grazing my rib cage as I come down. Release those toes. Inhale, take the head and chest up. Exhale down. Tuck your toes, push into your hands, coming onto your knees, into that child's pose. Tuck your tailbone under in that child's pose. And then walk your hands back towards your knees, cross your ankles underneath. Walking those hands back, coming back to that seated position. Two options here, cross-legged or soles of the feet together like I asked you to start the class. Bring your palms facing upwards, your hands on your knees. Slow everything down. Breathing in and out the nose. Parting the jaw. Close the eyes. You can take your fingers in a mudra, so the thumb and the index fingertips just touching. I find I'm more relaxed with none of my fingers touching, just open palms. And just take a moment to appraise yourself. You showed up, you practiced, you moved your body, we strengthened, we stretched, we perhaps went out of our comfort zones. That's all good intentions, and that deserves a positive appraisal to yourself. Just taking these last few moments to allow your body to transition back to reality, to the world that you left before coming to practice yoga. And I just ask you that you try and take 10 breaths here. I asked you at the beginning of the class to mindfully move through these moments. Don't just tick a box. So don't just rest there. And as soon as I end this video, hop off your mat and get to do what you're supposed to be doing. Take your 10 breaths. It's still part of your practice. Enjoy, and I shall see you again. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me.